Hey, bad news. It looks like this large queue is the one for the 10:30 that I'm going to take. Now have our first delay of the day. Oh, fire engine.
Pack bags, we're hitting the road again. No maps, just the stars.
Good morning from a very chilly St Margaret's Bus Station in Leicester. It's that early they won't let us in the building, but we're here to do a £2 bus challenge. We can see how far we can get from Leicester just using the capped £2 bus fare. We're going to head north. The first bus we're going to catch this morning is 4:25 a.m. It's the Skylink to East Midlands Airport, but ultimately to Derby, which I think is the furthest I can get really at this time of the morning. Chose this time of the morning because actually once I get to Derby I need to have another bus after that, and any time before this there's not going to be anything running. It'd be too early in the morning. So I've got my coffee. I think the taxi fare to get to the bus station this morning is probably going to be the most expensive journey of the trip. So come with me. Got a little plan, but we'll see where we get to tonight. Cool. See you in a bit. So thankfully, 10 minutes before the first bus of the morning is coming, we've been allowed inside the bus station. So we've got 4 minutes to go and not a sign of the bus as of yet. It's mainly airport buses going at this time. Here's a coach full of people off to Gatwick Airport. And we still have no stop. And now Heathrow Airport. But still no East Midlands. And here is our trusty steed, the Skylink.
Someone white there, wet ass, like arm of it, it's like, women, I said, yeah, cold, touch, yeah, almost like this, yeah, and I was like, it was a point from how it was my mate, they are cold, they're freezing. So at the start, I went with like wet, she's like, supposed to be like, she was wiping it on me, like, please can you like, leave me alone. They're wet and cold, they're gross. Wait, that's what I said, like, like that part. Yeah, you're like, oh, dumb baby, you call that. Yeah, that one. Yeah. And that was the coldest thing I ever heard in my life. So, like, it was such an open, long day. Yeah. That's when this leaves. Soon. Might not see it. It won't go 15 minutes before. This is where the boys usually get.
Hey, Derby, please.
Yeah, this was your doing.
Thank you. The first bus of the morning, as said, is the Skylink from Leicester St Margarets to Derby Bus Station via East Midlands Airport. This bus is going to run fairly express from Leicester through to Birstall, after which point we join the A6 bypass and the next time we'll stop is Loughborough, followed by Kegworth, the East Midlands Gateway, Airport, Castle Donington, Shardlow, Alweston and finally Derby. These buses are Enviro 200 MMCs, built in 2017 and are run by Kinch Bus, which is part of Wellglade, who also own Trentbarton. The journey today will take us around 90 minutes and the bus runs 24 hours a day. Bus at this time of the morning was actually surprisingly full, not travellers as you'd expect, but shift workers, as this route runs through the night and passes by the East Midlands Gateway, a large hub of massive warehouses.
We will soon be arriving at East Midlands Gateway. This is your stop for Segro Logistics Park.
These buses are actually really well spec'd buses with USB power, Wi-Fi, although as you'll see the Wi-Fi didn't work this morning, which is going to be a trend we'll see throughout the day. They also have onboard passenger announcements and displays, which is especially useful if you're not sure where you are, which might be the case if you've just arrived in the country. If you're one of the 4 lucky people that sits on these seats, you'll also get Qi wireless charging, although with the bus being as bumpy as it is, they often fall off the charging pads. As we enter the airport complex, more people start getting off the bus, including at the uniquely named.
We are now approaching Building 100. Our next stop is the Airport Service Station, followed shortly by East Midlands Airport Terminal. We then travel on to Derby, calling at Castle Donington, Shardlow and Alveston. Thanks for travelling with us on Skylink.
Nuestra próxima parada es el terminal del aeropuerto, East Midlands. Luego viajamos a Derby. Gracias por viajar con nosotros en Skylink.
Następny przystanek. Terminal lotniska jest Midland. Ten autobus jedzie dalej do Derby. Dziękujemy za podróżowanie naszą linią Skylink.
East Midlands Airport is probably best known for being a hub for low-fare airlines, but actually what isn't known as much is that it's a massive hub for cargo. It's either the biggest or the second biggest cargo airport in the UK, depending on the year that you look, but we can see from the Skylink just how big it is because the DHL depot has 2 stops. It's that big.
This is your stop for the motorsport circuit.
Frustratingly at night we can't really see much, but this bus runs around the perimeter road of the airport, and in the day we'd be getting some lovely shots of planes as they taxi along the runway, and if we timed it just right, maybe get a plane taken off above our heads, which actually we'd be able to see because just notice this bus has skylights.
We're now approaching Donington Lane, just a short walk to the Aldi distribution centre.
As we head into the suburbs of Derby, we start to see some signs of life and a little less darkness as convenience stores and others start to open up, awaiting their first customers of the day. And finally, we head into the bright white light of Derby's new bus station. Built in 2010, it replaced the first purpose-built bus station in the UK. And allegedly, the Beatles ate in the station cafe. However, it's not feeling very rock and roll this morning, more quiet and clinical, and I can bet you that Ringo and Paul never paid 20p to use the facilities. So thanks to the Skylink there, made it Derby. We're just waiting now on the Comet. There's quite a few people here actually for this time of the morning, and the Skylink was really busy. Hopefully though, we'll have a nice trip. Got about an hour on this bus, all the way from here to Chesterfield. Looks like there's not many buses out this early. As you can see behind me, there's just the Skylink that I came in on. So yeah, let's get to the next bus. See you on board. I think our bus has just arrived. Probably going for a toilet break. The Comet is Trentbarton's route from Derby to Chesterfield, and it's going to get us there in 60 minutes. I do like how Trentbarton name their bus routes as opposed to giving them a number. I think it gives them more character. It's operated by an ageing fleet now of Volvo Wright Eclipse buses from 2009, so we've got no creature comforts like USB and Wi-Fi on this bus. Hey, yeah, mate, Chesterfield, please.
£2, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The route today is going to take us up north through Ripley, Alfreton, Claycross and finally into Chesterfield. As dawn starts to break, we see the lovely blue of the sky start to come through. We're starting to leave the outskirts of Derby now and break out onto the open road. We're leaving the real Midlands behind and heading towards the peaks. Whilst we're only going to skirt around it on our journey today, you can't help but hear from the bus's engine that it's starting to need a little bit more grunt to traverse the roads around here. Trentbarton previously billed themselves as the really good bus company, and they live up to that name, I think. They focus on good friendly drivers and well kept buses. This bus, for example, might be 15 years old and lack things like power, but it feels like it's in a good condition and well cared for. We pass through the industrial and market towns of Ripley and Alfreton with ever more appealing views, and we start to see more signs of life. If it wasn't for the awful fog, we'd start to see glimpses of the even hillier areas that are soon to come. And as we pass through Clay Cross, I think we can just about say that it's now daytime. Some people are still sleeping, having just finished their night shift and are on the way back home. The roads around Chesterfield are notorious for their potholes and poor condition, and I can feel that sitting on the back seat of the Comet. But it's not long before we enter Chesterfield itself, past the Poundlands and retail parks, straight into the bus station. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, thank you.
Okay, we're here at Chesterfield, and I think we need to go to the coach station, but it's dropped us at the bus station. But I think it's literally just over there, so we've got a couple of minutes. Oh, in fact, I can see the X17 over there. Sadly, I don't have time to look around the sights of Chesterfield because my bus connection is merely a few minutes. As we sit and wait for our eventual departure at exactly 7:24 AM, both me and Charmander sink into these ultra comfortable chairs ready for the journey ahead. Today's journey is going to take us up from Chesterfield to Sheffield, where we'll have a driver change before heading to the Meadowhall, before jumping on the M1 motorway up to Barnsley. I must say it'll be quite a novelty taking a double-decker bus onto the motorway. Chesterfield is another historic market town on our route, and it still has one of the biggest open-air markets in England today, open 3 days a week. There's a lot of history here, and nestled between the odd tatty-looking shop, you can see some beautiful historic buildings and churches. I think I'll add this to my list of places to come back and visit. The X17 has come all the way from Matlock today, and by the time it gets to Barnsley, the length of this journey will have been 2.5 hours. You could get that for £2, an amazing deal. The X17 is a great example of an actual express service, with plenty of dual carriageway running and of course that upcoming motorway section. The comfort is fantastic, and whilst I'm surprised it didn't have Wi-Fi, I think I'm quite content sitting here watching the world go by as we continue the journey ever further northwards. The buildings emblazoned with Sheffield Hallam University on the side announce our arrival into Sheffield, an industrial town in South Yorkshire. Historically famous for its steel and particularly cutlery, it's now known as the UK's greenest city with over 250 parks and gardens, also with the highest ratio of trees to people in Europe. They also apparently have a football team or two. And our stop today for a driver change will be Sheffield Interchange. A little misleading as it is more of a bus station than an interchange, as there's no actual direct rail connection, with Sheffield Station being a short covered walk away. But we're only here for 10 minutes. Although I admit, with the grey skies, grey concrete buildings, I'm not seeing much of that green today. As we leave Sheffield city centre, we pass what must be in the running for the most American sight ever. A newly opened Wendy's over the road from a Taco Bell and a Dunkin' Donuts. But don't worry though, the police clearly prefer the Greggs drive-thru, because you've got to get that sausage roll for patrol. A quick stop at the Meadow Hall, and then we're straight on to the M1. As we jump off the M1, we seem to pass through endless small villages with a distinctive type of brickwork that makes me feel like I'm properly in the north now. The rain may be coming down hard, but that's not slowing us down, as the X17 powers on, bringing us ever close to Barnsley, a town I've never visited before, or thought to visit before. Barnsley Interchange, the terminus of this bus, and what has to be the longest road into a bus station that I've ever encountered. Okay, so we're now at Barnsley Station, Barnsley Interchange. Actually a really decent interchange between train, bus, coach, good facilities. Oh, we managed to get here 5 minutes early, so I've now got a 20-minute wait until the next bus, which is the 19 that's going to take us all the way over to Leeds, which is where I'm going to get some lunch, I think. So we've had some quite quick connections. The X17 took me all the way from Chesterfield through to Sheffield, driver change in Sheffield, but thankfully same bus. We waited there for about 5-10 minutes, and then we all the way there to Barnsley. I think I'm going to grab myself a coffee from one of the little cafes here. Sure, I was thinking we're not going to Leeds straight away, we're going to Wakefield first. All the way from here to Wakefield on the number 19, which is not here yet, but we're going to sit at the gate. There's clearly something wrong with me. It's not even the 19, it's the 59, and the 59A is here, but not the 59, so we've still got some time yet. The weather's started to turn, got a bit rainy, and we're now switching on to local buses. So all the buses we've took before are express services, limited stops. This one's going to stop everywhere, which could mean time for delays. Oh, you're not going on? No worries. Oh, thank you. Cheers. Hi, mate. Wakefield, please. Thank you. The 59 is another Stagecoach bus, sadly this time not in an Express Gold livery, but a standard local double-decker, decked out in the Stagecoach blue and orange that made me feel like I was back on the 192 going into Manchester. The rain had now subsided, but the steam-filled windows might make views between Barnsley and Wakefield difficult. We're going through New Millardam, Royston and Monkbretton today, all places I've never heard of but will shortly be breezing through on this hour-long ride from end to end. Windy roads and some lovely views made this local stopping service feel more like an express service at times. It's just a shame the speeds didn't match. We passed through the village of Carlton, straddling the wards of both Monkbretton and Royston. It's lined with a couple of sandstone local businesses. After that, we're back out into the fields. After Royston, we passed through the village of Notton, with its almost quintessential English village green. Sadly, with the weather today, there's no one out using it. We jumped back on the A61 to go through New Millardam, passing by the dam after which the village is named. The dam was built and operated by the Pashley family up until 1980s. Now it's the site of a lake and a country park. But at last, we pull into the rather teal-coloured Wakefield Bus Station. and amazingly was still exactly on time. Judging by the colours, I'm guessing this is a station operated by Arriva. Cheers, mate. Another 20p spent to use the toilet, and they really didn't want to let you in this one. There's less security at some prisons. Hey, so I've made it to Wakefield Bus Station. Oh, that bus was... yeah, it was alright actually, not too bad. However, I've just seen the queue now for the 110, which is the next bus, which is going to take us all the way to Leeds. I'm guessing it's going to be a busy bus. Hopefully this one will have Wi-Fi/USB, because I could do with some power, because the last two buses, no, the last bus didn't have USB and the last two haven't had Wi-Fi. Okay, bad news, it looks like this large queue is the one for the 10:30 that I'm going to take. So it looks like it's every 15 minutes, so I might get the next one. Yeah, I think I'm going to wait for the next one. It's only 15 minutes, so not too bad. I'm going to resist buying a Greg's though. So it looks like that was the 10:15, because it's just left and it's 10:22, so it must have been really late. Still waiting for 10:30. Looks like we're going to have our first delay of the day. It's 10:30 and there's no bus here yet. So it's now 5 past when it should have been here, and the bus has gone from the screen, so I'm guessing I'm waiting for the next one. So I'm going to end part one of my journey here at Wakefield. Hopefully the 110 will arrive and take me to Leeds for my lunch. I've got another good 9 hours of the day to go. How much further north can I get? Please subscribe and like, as part 2 will be out shortly. Thank you for watching.